Lately I've been hearing a few labels that might carry some more negative connotations in relation to people living off the grid. Isolationists, radicals, escapists, nonconformists, antisocial, unproductive, irresponsible, anti-progress, or outlaws. I'm starting to think of these labels as terms of endearment now. I'll go with any of those labels now. I've been called a hippie and been accused of trying to ruin the environment by not using toxic chemicals like weed killers. This is our 140-acre off-grid property in Australia. I mean, look at it. It can't get any more beautiful than this. So it's been about a month now since the bushfire came through. But the land has a remarkable ability to recover and regenerate. And the trees that burnt look orange and red like autumn trees now, even though it's only 2 weeks until winter is finished. To have a relationship with the land and to know where your food comes from and to have respect for Mother Nature is rejuvenating to me. All of our grandparents had farms, but I didn't appreciate the experience until I got older. When I was in my teens, I just couldn't wait to get away from the country, and I thought that I would have a long, successful life in the city. And I guess I did for almost 30 years. But now my whole concept of success and happiness has changed. If I can leave a lasting legacy for future generations that's about a healthy and balanced future, I think that's way more important than what kind of house I live in, what kind of clothes I wear, and whether I take holidays overseas, or what kind of car I drive, or what kind of handbag I have. I sometimes wonder to myself whether humans were always this self-absorbed, or whether it's just that I started noticing it more. But I think over time, it seems to have become worse. Humans are social beings, and to some extent, they all have a desire to belong to a group or to a community. It's ingrained in our nature. And there's so much peer pressure around so that people feel that they need to conform to the behaviours and expectations of their peers in order to gain acceptance, approval, or that sense of belonging. The fear of being excluded or rejected can just drive people to do certain things that they wouldn't normally choose for themselves. And especially true for our young people who are still finding out who they are and what they believe in and what values they hold. Come. And not to mention all the social media, but just recognising all these factors and questioning everything, feeling confident about doing that, I think will help us align our true selves with our values. And I couldn't count the number of times that I've had jobs where they pressure you into just going with the status quo. And even though you know things could be different and better, and it still makes you feel uncomfortable. So that's why I actually think all those negative labels that I mentioned earlier are actually terms of endearment to me now. So living sustainably has become more and more important to me as I've got older. And it means making choices and taking actions that minimise the negative impacts on the environment, on society, the economy, and with the goal of ensuring a healthy and balanced future for both current and future generations. It involves practices and lifestyles that promote long-term well-being by conserving natural resources, reducing waste, and minimising the carbon footprint. So part of that is about being conscious of what you buy and choosing products that are durable, repairable, and have minimal environmental impact. And, things that are made out of plastic, I have a lot of them, and I'm not going to throw them out just because they're made of plastic. I'm going to use them until they're no longer in working order. I'm not going just to throw them into landfill just because they're made of plastic. But when I buy new things, I'll be buying things that are more sustainable, and that have less impact on the environment. And so here on our off-grid property, we're also trying to use energy efficiently. So we're using resources, renewable energy sources like solar, wind, power, and instead of relying on non-renewable fossil fuels. We're also very mindful of water usage out here because obviously we collect rainwater and use that. So we want to make sure that we're not overusing the water here or the natural resources. And reducing air travel is one of the things you can do to reduce your carbon footprint, as well as helping raise awareness about sustainability and advocating for practices that prioritise environmental and social well-being. This can also lead to a broader positive change. And the other thing that almost everybody can do is reduce waste. So start doing things like recycling, composting, and reusing or upcycling items just to reduce the strain on the landfills. And one of the main reasons why we bought this off-grid property was so that we could have more connection to the food that we were eating. And things like organic farming and permaculture can help reduce the environmental impact of food production. So if you're choosing local, seasonal food, this can also contribute to a more sustainable food system. Sustainability matters, and if you haven't started doing some of these things, I really do encourage you to start now. It really does minimise the negative impacts on the environment and reduces pollution, conserves natural resources, preserves biodiversity, and mitigates climate change. So I just wanted to share with you a potato dish that both my mother used to cook for me when I was a little kid, and also Paul's mum enjoys making this dish as well. So I'm putting my own little twist to it, but I'm using a combination of my mum's recipe, Paul's mum's recipe, and my own. So the first thing is just obviously to wash your dirt off the potato and then poke a few holes in it and put the potato in the oven for probably about an hour on 180 degrees Celsius, and that'll make sure it's cooked right through. And so I've got some parsley here and some shallots, so I'll just chop them up into little bits. And as the sun sinks lower, the sky is painted with hues of orange and gold, as if an artist's palette has been spilled across the sky. And so I have 2 pieces of ham off the bone here, which I'm just going to dice it up into little bits. Usually I think my mum and Paul's mum use bacon, but I didn't have any bacon available to me that day, so I just used the ham instead. And so I've just taken my 2 potatoes out of the oven that have been baking, and I'll just cut them in half and scoop out their insides, but leave the skin or the shell of the potato on the outside because we're going to sort of restuff it in a minute. This dish used to always be a bit of a comfort food for me when I was a kid. I remember Mum asking, "Is there anything special you want me to make you?" And I'd always say these potato bacon things, whatever they're called. I'm not even really sure if they have a name. So anyway, you scoop out all the insides of the potatoes and put them into a bowl. And then I'm going to add all this leftover potato that's fallen out, plus the parsley and all the diced ham or bacon as well. And then I'm going to add in some mayonnaise and an egg as well. And then I'm just going to mash all these ingredients together. And I'm just adding some nutritional yeast in here as well for a bit of additional flavour. And so now we just add this stuffing mixture into the potato skins or potato shells, and then we're going to put this in the oven or the barbecue oven for probably about 15 or 20 minutes. But I'll just sprinkle a little bit of shaved parmesan on top, and basically when the cheese has turned like a golden brown, that's when I'll take the potatoes out of the oven and serve them like that. Delicious. And as I sit out here watching the sun go down, my eyes sparkle with a lifetime of memories. And even though I've witnessed countless sunsets, each one remains unique, a masterpiece in my heart. And even though winter is over in 2 weeks' time, we're still getting below zero overnight here. And as the first light of dawn begins to tinge the horizon, the sun's rays begin to kiss the landscape. And Poppy is still fast asleep, warm by the fireside. And if you've been following along with us on our journey, you'll know that I've had to spend some time away from our off-grid property and away from Paul. So it's nice to sit down together in the morning sun and have our cup of tea and talk about what we dream for today. Sometimes time just seems to stand still, and you can't help but feel a profound sense of gratitude to be able to watch such a spectacle, to be able to actually venture off the grid in this remote corner of the world, and not just about the beautiful sunrises, but the connection to nature's grand design and the timeless rhythm of the earth. And yes, there are still places that you can go that you can escape from the chaos of modern life and be captivated by the simple yet profound beauty of a sunrise in a hidden corner of the world. So this morning we're having some blue butterfly pea tea. It's a caffeine-free herbal tea made from the dried petals of the blue butterfly pea flower. The tea is normally blue to start off with, but when you add some lemon juice to it, it turns to more of a purple or violet colour. You can use it in cocktails as well to change the colour.
And it's high on the hill.
Nice and warm in the sun.
Yeah, it was meant to be 21 or 22 today.
Really?
Yeah. It's nice there and nice down there. So I've mowed under those trees down there by the by your mum's quiet spot. So yeah, so pretty much needs to be mowed. Oh, hello. You saying hello? Come here, puppy. Say hello to the camera. Come here. Hello. Hello, everybody. Are you a good girl? Are you? Oh, kisses. Yay, puppy, kisses. Puppy kisses. Oh. That's it.
Our dog Rose is blooming at the moment, which looks beautiful, and it also means that our rose hips, which are fruit-like structures that contain seeds and are very rich in vitamin C, and you can make herbal teas, jams, jellies and other products out of them, will be coming soon. We also got a new lemon tree and planted it where the old lemon tree died, so hopefully it'll survive okay. And our oregano, we protected it again, and now it's coming back. As my time back home came to an end, I found myself torn between the tranquility of the countryside and the responsibility of my work life. But my vision is still clear. The value of simplicity, the importance of family, and the beauty of nature's rhythms are the most important things to me in my life right now.